A very good morning to class 6 student. Class 6 student, my name is Sunil. I'm your computer teacher as well. Now, we are in the first chapter, computer system. So, the next topic is computer languages. Computer languages, all of you know that computer having five type of languages are there. Machine language, assembly language, high level language, fourth generation language, and fifth generation language. So there are five type of languages in your course. Language is a system of communication. Language is what? It's a type of a communication system, human being and the system in between that. The various languages to convey our thoughts and views similar to make computer work for us. Why we have made this? Because after making this we can talk to the computer to do work. Computer work for us, we need to convey the instructions to the computer. These instructions must be stored in some kind of languages, and this language is called programming languages. Means different type of languages are there through which we can understand the computer what he has to do, right? A computer a computer is a set of commands, instructions. Programming language is a set of commands, instructions, and the other syntax used to create a software program. Through programming languages, we can create a software program. The software which are installed in a computer, because without a software, computer is just like a machine, without a software he can't be do anything. So software is the necessary part of the computer through which he is going to do the operational activities. So the development of computer languages has been classified into different categories. The categories are machine language, assembly language, high level language, fourth generation language, and fifth generation languages. That means there are five type of languages through which we give instructions to the computer to understand what we want, how to make a program, and how what we want from the computer. The first one is a machine language. What is machine language? Machine language is also known as first generation language. That means machine language is also called a first generation language. This is the language that computer actually understand. So this language computer can understand easily. It designed like that which machine can understand. A computer is a machine which works on electricity. All of you know that the machine works on the electricity by the battery or by the electricity. And electric signals are in the main input. These signals are expressed as low voltage or high voltage. Low voltage is called off, then it denotes at 0, and the high voltage denotes 1, it means on. Machine language is composed of these zeros and ones. Machine language understand only 0 and 1. It is also known as low level language. That means it means machine language is also called a low level language. Its main characteristic are as follows. The characteristic of machine language is what? It has high speed and it's is processed very fast. It has high speed means the speed of machine language is very high, but the process and it processed very fast. So this one is the about the machine languages one characteristic, and the second one is machine level code is very efficient. The use of machine language is a very radius, difficult and time consuming. The machine language is very tedious. Machine language is very typical but difficult and time consuming. Code written in a machine language cannot be transferred to other system. Means if we change if we write the machine language in codes, so it not get be transferred in other system. Code is different to edit and update. We can't be able to edit that code systems and update means if we want to do some changes on that one is called update, so we can't be able to do that also. Assembly language. What is assembly language? A machine language was difficult to code and highly prone to error. Machine language was difficult to code means we can't be able to write the machine codes and highly prone to errors. Uh, Very few programmers were available to code using machine language. That means a few programmers they are able to decode the machine language. To prevent these errors, means if you want that we don't make any type of errors, what we do, programmers came up with a new languages. What had happened, because machine language is a very typical language, that's why they come with a new language is called assembly language. This was the second generation language. It's also be called a second generation language. That means the first generation language is a machine language and the second generation language is called the assembly language. It's also be called a low level language. This language uses simply English words known as mnemonic codes. This language is also called a mnemonic codes. For example, for addition, we use add ADD. For subtraction, we use sub. So these are the mnemonic codes. Assembly language, which all of you are using in your maths also. Assembly language can directly work with a physical CPU. Assembly language can directly work with the physical CPU. Process speed is very high. The speed of this language is very high. Code cannot be transferred to other system, has to be rewrite and has to be rewrite. We cannot transfer to other system. We don't have such type of facility to transfer these codes to the other system, has to be rewrite, and don't have a facility of rewrite also. Need a translator to convert the code into a machine language as assembles. Need to translate to convert the code into a machine language. We need a translator to convert the code into a machine language. A computer can understand only electric pulse. All of you know that computer can understand only electronic pulses because computer is connected through a wires. So example 0 or 1. It cannot understand the code written in English alphabets. Yes, we are writing in the computers through English, but it can't be able to understand the English. So what it had to do, it converts our English language into a binary language. The mnemonic code of assembly language have to be translated into machine language to computer to understand. A translator program A translator program assembler is used to convert the input by the assembly language into a machine language, and also output back to the machine language is assembly language. That means there is one converter which get changed your language into a machine language and give it back to the assembler. High level language. What is high level language? High level language is a third level language. They are very much They are very much like everyday text and mathematical formulas in appearance. They are user-friendly program languages, high-level languages. Programs are written in a high-level language as such easier to maintain and modify. That means in a high-level language we can easily maintain and modify. Modify means if you want to change any update we can, but in a low level language we can't be able to do that. A program is executed line by line in sequentially. In a machine high level language, the program executed line by line. That means he is going to check the errors also. Easily to code and implement. Easier to code and implement. Program written once can be implemented and executed on multiple machines. We can apply this one in a multiple machines also. Need a translator to convert code into a machine language. Need a translator to convert the codes into machine language. That means it needs a translator to convert the code into a machine language. Like assembly language, the high level language are also required to convert it into machine language for the computer to understand. Assembly language, the high level language is also required to convert it into machine language to the computer to understand. Why it's going to be converted? Because computer can't understand that language, so it's converted into a machine language. There are two type of translator programs programs that works high level language. The two programs are called interpreter and the compiler. Compiler is compiling the things and translate into a machine language, and interpreter is also doing the same work. It's going to convert the language into a machine language and transfer to the computer, so which it make understand. So now moving forward to the next page. Now I'm going to explain you the interpreter also. Interpreter is what? It converts the high level program into a machine language line by line. It is also execute the program line by line. That means the program is executed line by line, means every line has to be checked. If there is an error in the program, translator and executor stopped. After finding the error is automatically stopped and showing you the error. If you want to solve that one, what you have to do, debug. Means sometimes debug means it's going to solve himself. The conversion of execution resuming after only after that error is rectified. This is slow process and consuming high memory. Means it's a slow process because it's going line by line and checking the errors, and after that, after finding the errors, you have to debug the error also. So it's a slow process. Compiler means whenever we are collecting the things in a one way is called compiler. A computer converts the entire program written in high level language into a machine in one go. Compiler converts the entire program written in high level language into a machine language in one go. Means in one go, computer change high level language into a machine language which machine can understand. It is fails to convert the program because of error present in the program. All all errors are reported together along with the line number of debugging. That means whenever we are making a program in that, what had happened, we get all the errors, what all the errors are there, we get the errors in our screen, and line wise. That means we checked out in which line we have which type of mistakes. This is faster as compared to the interpreter. This is compiler is faster than the interpreter. What does it means? It means compiler and the interpreter both are the same thing. Also consume less memory, and it's also consume a less memory. Debugging mentioned above in the process of removing all errors from the computer program. Some examples of high level programming languages are basic C, C++, Java, etc. These are the high level languages. Assembler, compiler, interpreter, language, processor. These are the processor which are going to convert your language into a processing data which are typed of system software, which you are typed in system software. Thank you.